Okay, we're good.
Are you nervous?
No.
Anastasia Valentine,
Yes, John.
not one to get nervous.
No, not at all.
Are
No.
you literally working from home on the sun right now?
You're cracking up.
I said, are you literally working from home on the sun? Like you have such a huge light coming in from behind. Like
Oh,
this is
I
good.
wish. I got an awesome like sun-facing room, and the room that I'm in is actually what I call the quiet room. So the yoga room, the meditation room, and it's kind of very zen.
So you're adjusting to the work from home pretty well.
I'm pretty loving it. Yeah, I'm loving the commute.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
for sure. And yeah, I mean, I start my day. It's not as hurried, so I'm able to get the fitness in. I'm able to have breakfast and hang out with Fam Jam a little bit more. Then it's like
Yeah.
you get out the door and go this way, and you get out the door and go that way, and bye. See you at like 7 and all that good stuff. It hasn't been bad in that respect.
Got it. And I've seen you on, I think it was on Instagram, maybe it was Twitter, but you've traveled a ton over the years.
Yeah, yeah, I do miss the travel a lot and just exploring, getting off the beaten path and meeting new people. And yeah, that's something that I'm having troubles with because, you know, canceled trips, obviously, because I wanted to go to Mongolia, or I wanted to go to places that I've never been. I wanted to go to Cambodia too. And it's
Mm.
all of these places that I've got that wanderlust for, and I just can't go. So I'll wait when the time is right. We'll get back on that plane.
And we'll go. I still remember when we met because we've known each other through LinkedIn for I don't know how long, a while.
Ever.
But I remember when we met. I think it was 2 summers ago or last summer. It was somewhere. It was at a Starbucks somewhere. And I
That
remember.
was funny though, because we were sitting right beside each other, and I'm like, "Are you here?" And you're like, "Yeah, I'm here." And like, there you are. Hello.
It was like that episode of The Office when Steve Carell and Will Ferrell are no, I'm here to meet someone. I'm doing my job, and someone else is like, oh yeah, I'm starting a new job, and let me call him. I'm yeah. Anyway, um, but lots have changed since then. Like you've now you didn't start the company, but now you're running. Is it tech or what are you doing with Rhonda.ai right now?
Sure, it's a really cool story. So Rhonda.ai is actually part of a larger company called IMI. And IMI does some really great things in the area of automation and installation and helping, our CEO puts it really best where we help people install shop stuff. So if you've got like a Walmart going up or an Amazon going up, we're in there fitting it up and making it happen. So Rhonda came about. It was really exciting where IMI needed a way to engage employees who were off site, sometimes on a remote location,
Okay.
kind of understand how they're doing, communicate, when they're getting paid, how much they're getting paid, get feedback from them on how their experience is on site. And, most recently we've been asking questions like, are you having any symptoms of COVID-19, for example, or have you been in contact with anyone who's been tested positive? Because health and safety is super important for us on those sites. But Rhonda's been used at IMI for about 4 years now. And
Oh wow.
yeah, so IMI has been around for 25 years, which is amazing. And the way Rhonda AI came about was that, you know what, we're thinking that we can probably bring this to a larger market. And we know that other people would have the same needs that we did. So I was brought in to commercialize Rhonda and make it available to the masses. So not only for people who have remote job sites, but offices. And most recently, things change and they change fast.
Yeah, yeah. So you famously have a background in marketing and commercializing a product. I totally see you crushing that. As a marketer, what are your thoughts on leveraging the Beach Boys in your advertising and maybe the song "Help Me, Rhonda"?
Funny you ask. So Help Me Rhonda is actually where Rhonda's name came from. It was our CEO's wife who came up with that. So that was pretty cool. And you will hear that song every so often, when you come into the office. But, like you asked before, no, there's no daily sing-alongs.
Whoa,
Although
whoa, whoa,
maybe,
whoa, 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 whoa. There is not a daily sing along.
well, not for that song. We do like some really cool things, but yeah, it's not how we kick off our day.
Okay,
Are you saying we
okay.
should?
if this isn't an employee engagement platform that was named after Help Me Rhonda by the CEO's wife, I question the engagement of your team if that's not already the favorite song, you know?
I'll
Or
tell you
maybe,
what, we will do a group sing along and we will post it.
is that a verbal contract?
I think that is challenge accepted.
Oh, hashtag. I am going to hold you so accountable on every single platform that I can
No,
before I
I
forget.
know. I just made a very large mistake.
Yes, you did. That's like Arrested Development. Job, I just made a huge mistake. So what's next for you guys? Like, certainly it's only you joined the company literally a few months before it wasn't safe to go outside.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I never thought of it that way, but that's absolutely true. And what was really wild is that we launched officially in January
Yeah.
at the HRPA event, which you know very well,
Oh yeah.
Human Resources Professional Association in Toronto. And their huge event. It was awesome. You should be there next year if they haven't. I hope they have it. But it was so well received, and taking the load off HR to handle some questions, identify issues before they escalate, and sometimes they can escalate really quickly. And then, as things went on, and this virus was deemed, a pandemic and damn serious. Companies were faced with a problem they weren't anticipating. It's like, my workforce is now completely remote as of today. And how do I keep people engaged? How do I make sure they're doing okay? How do I offer them additional assistance? How, as we plan this back to work strategy, we're ensuring we're providing a healthy environment for our employees and our customers. So we've come up with modules that out of the box allow companies to do that and customize it for their vibe, because every company culture is different.
Yep.
But it's not just the communication aspect, because that's really important, but also the data gathering and the analytics. So that's really important to the business. So automatically knowing that my culture score is, a 4 out of 5. Well, how awesome is that for attracting top talent, especially at this time, right? And then maybe saying that, oh, you know what, when we went remote, our engagement went down. So we got to up our game a little bit and make that extra effort to make sure that people feel still included in the day-to-day when they're working remote.
So I've got a couple questions for you, because you mentioned a few things and I want to pull on some threads.
Yep.
You said taking the weight off of HR for engagement. Who owns employee engagement from your perspective?
Oh, it really, I think everybody does. I think every employee is a huge part of employee engagement. And I think what we have to recognize is that not everybody engages in the same way. And sometimes they need a human. So in the case, then let's say I'm having a really hard week, I really need some support, but I'm not really sure how to reach out. And then Rhonda can identify who those people are so that we do that AI to human handoff. So they might need some more assistance. Some maybe, I'm loving this work at home thing. Oh my God, I'm a 5. This is great. And they're really outgoing. And then some people actually trust Rhonda more than they would trust a human. We are still trying to get our heads around that. It's like, why? So in that way, I think everybody is responsible for being engaged, but I think the HR team is probably has a great opportunity to lead that engagement and to make sure that they're able to engage people in different ways, because we're all different.
Right. So that, I'm really curious then, the whole shift to remote, everyone's had to, not everyone, but everyone that can has had to.
Yeah.
I always knew, like, I've worked remote in the past. I've worked internationally, globally, at hotels, offices, whatever. Yeah. So I have some exposure and some experience not working in my core office, but I've always typically worked in an office. And the past, I don't remember what day it is or even what month it is right now, but it's been at least 2 months of working in these 4 walls, and my cat is now very annoyed because she has no time to herself, etc. What do you think is going to happen when I don't want to say blows over, I don't want to be insensitive, but the whole idea of remote work or flexible work used to be a nice to have. When we get back to a normal-ish semblance of what we were, do you think flexibility and the option for remote is going to become a demand instead of a nice to have?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think that people, I think the notion that you have to be in a certain place and have your bum in a seat, a very specific seat to get your job done is not accurate in all cases. I think that the work that you do and the value you bring to an organization doesn't mean you need to necessarily be in a specific place unless it warrants, having access to equipment or people or technology or doing something on site. I think that people are discovering, especially companies who have been really kind of anti-remote work, that, you know what, maybe this can work. And then on the flip side, on the business side, like maybe this could save us a lot of money with, or rent and all that kind of good stuff. So I think that we're going to see a lot of changes. I think we're already seeing changes in terms of how organizations are going to bring people back to work in phases, possibly. I'm also seeing that from a design perspective, do people have to redesign their offices? How is that going to work? And how are people going to be able to maintain social distancing, and for how long? So I think a lot of it remains to be seen. And I think I may have lost you. Did I lose you?
You know what's funny?
What?
Is you did.
Okay.
And you froze for a while. And you froze with like the most hilariously perfect face. It was like,
oh, like the smack in the face.
It was the smack in the face. And this hasn't happened. I'm sure there's a lot of traffic on Zoom. Yay Zoom.
And that's cool because you know what? I've got like other people in this house who are probably like Netflixing, gaming, and working. So.
Well, the best part is going to be rewatching this video because when you froze, I kept talking, and then I realized that you froze. And then I just went on an inner monologue, and we'll see what happens. But what I was curious about.
Where did you lose me?
I was asking you a question about the transition from remote, and what I was trying to get from you is, there's all sorts of organizations that have massive offices, and I think it was OpenText maybe.
Mm-hmm.
There's
yeah,
some company, OpenText said something like half of their offices or 10%. I forget the number, but. There's a ton of companies that have invested a ton of money into office spaces that they now may not be using.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with those spaces? Like, are we going to have a bunch of laser tag arenas pop up, or what's going to happen?
I'd be down for that. I think that like one of the notions that I've heard is and even in our own office is, well, maybe this is like the clubhouse. Maybe this is where we go to get together as a team. And we don't know what we're doing yet, but there's a lot of considerations in bringing people back to work. Are you doing it in phases? Does the current design of the office environment allow for social distancing?
Right.
Or daily distancing, or whatever we're going to be calling it, and for how long? So everyone's taking that into consideration. I don't think anyone has it pegged yet because we don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
So we have Microsoft saying everybody can work from home until October. So I think it's more like giving them time to figure it out, right. As opposed to, okay, retail's opening up, so let's get back to the office. I think that's a little bit too aggressive a move for people to think of right now. Yeah. And employees are, I think, discovering, and even employers are discovering that remote work, now that they've tried it because they've been so resistant, might work for them.
Yeah. I'm really curious about two different things. Maybe we'll do the first. Well, not maybe we'll do the first one. I'll do the first one first because I'm curious. And you know this. I have a background in HR tech. Yep. There was a big push a number of years ago. It seemed like it was the market was asking for it. Who knows if it was the market or the marketing, but it seemed like there was a big push for all-in-one solutions. Yeah. So something that does everything from performance to succession to comp to time and attendance, everything. Yeah. It seems like over the past, 4 years, 3 years, there's a much bigger push for those niche specific tools or capabilities, things like engagement, things like pulse check, things like Fellow out of Ottawa, helping managers become better managers, things like Work Tango on the employee survey stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's the pulse check. I think that's more of an ongoing, not ongoing, but like a quarterly or whatever. What are you seeing in terms of what your clientele are asking for? And also what's your target market? Who's your target customer? Because small organizations need different things than big organizations.
for sure.
But what are your thoughts on the whole all-in-one versus niche-specific thing, and where does Rhonda fit within the market in terms of who the tool can benefit the most?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll talk about kind of what the demands are from a technology point of view. I think there are some very few do-it-all stacks and companies left. They've acquired, they've grown. They're kind of these monolithic pillars, that exist in the organizations or in the marketscape. What I'm seeing is that the niche players, the people who do one thing incredibly well, are integrating with the way people work. So if, for example, you're using Rhonda and you've got your phone, we're going to communicate with you that way. Oh, and you're more comfortable with email, we're going to communicate with you that way. Or you're on Slack, you're on MS Teams, we're going to communicate with you that way. Or Shopify Plus. Like it's really about, doing your best work and providing the most amazing experience and value. And then integrating with the players that have your target customers in their ecosystem. So that's a really key play that I see a lot of technology companies doing, where, you make yourself completely compatible with where your customers are. So it's only natural for them to adopt your solution. It's just a very natural extension. So in that way, that's how Rhonda is fitting with the different ecosystems, working in the way that people work best. Like,
Okay.
yeah, could we have an app? Yeah, sure. We could do another app because we all need another app. Not really. Or we can force someone into a new UI that they have to learn and understand. And we don't believe that we should have to do that. We want to just exist with how you work best. So I think that a lot of companies are taking that approach, because it also allows you to play nice with other vendors, develop relationships, and then tap into those ecosystems as well. So who's our perfect fit customer? I think for us, it's the customer who has an investment in HR. So it's probably, now it's not to say that, if a startup wanted to use Rhonda, for example, to take some of the load off what they're doing with HR, they can do it for sure. But I think where we have a really nice fit is with a company who has HR. They're overloaded. I mean, you and I know that HR, especially right now, they're dealing with a lot of things, positive and negative and change and managing change. So what if you can have a way to continually keep the pulse on your employees, gather those metrics, instantly see how your organization is doing, gather data, have those conversations, and then enable, that AI to human handoff, because that way the AI can identify the issues that the HR folks should focus on and handle the issues that are happening on the day-to-day that are pretty, repetitive and kind of admin-y. HR people are superheroes, and I would personally love to see them focus on their genius work every single day. And I think they would be more fulfilled if they were able to do that too.
So tell me more about the superheroes. And I'm curious because HR people, God, they have the hardest job in the world. Outside of lead development people right now, I would say HR people have the hardest job in the world. Let me. Outside of the frontline healthcare workers and doctors and everyone helping save lives, etc. Preface. I think the white collar in office / remote HR it's a tough racket. You're dealing with the best and worst of people. It's a time right now where there's more bad news than good news. There's a time where, I think it was Airbnb yesterday laid off a quarter of their staff. Then this is a story that we're hearing more and more and more each day. The unemployment numbers are insane. Like there's tons of people on the market now, no fault of their own.
And they're great people. There's some really good people.
So my big question is, I really feel, and maybe I'm biased because I am in the hiring game, but I feel like organizations, it makes sense to not hire right now. Like unless you have the bankroll and the need and all that kind of stuff, it makes sense to not hire right now. But it doesn't make sense to stop recruiting, and it doesn't make sense to stop focusing on engagement. I'm really curious to get your thoughts on what you think is going to happen when things sort of get back to normal. Is it going to be a huge influx of we really need to engage employees now? Is it going to be a huge influx of we really need to hire now, and then there's a land rush for talent? And at the same time, the people that the organizations have been able to hang on to Are they going to say, okay, you know, you've been working remotely, but now we want you back in the office, or we want you to come into the clubhouse, etc.
Yeah.
What do you see as being the future for post-COVID as it relates to engagement, hiring? And hiring and engagement are kind of hand in hand, in that you engage employees before you hire them.
Yeah.
And then you hire them, and then you engage them after you've hired them.
Yeah.
Like, I really see those two playing well together. But what do you see as post-COVID?
I think that we'll see, like, I don't know about other teams, but our team is so much closer now. We're in constant communication. We are always talking. HR is running nonstop. I think that we have to recognize that level of engagement from a communication point of view, and then also from a technology point of view, to continue that and to continue that feedback loop from hire through to even offboarding. I think you can leverage technology to assist in all of that and help. I don't want to say automate, because it's really important to say that there is a human aspect to all of those stages. And HR is going to be overloaded with, you know, probably the rehiring or new hiring. But I think I would say, like, exercise caution, because just because all of these people are available, and just because you're opening wide up, I think that's an opportunity to pause and kind of look at the organization, see what you really need and see what you don't necessarily need, and just focus on the areas where, you know, you'll have the biggest impact, positive impact to the business and to your culture. And I think making sure that you understand, you know, who are you as an organization? What is your culture? Are you open? Are you connected? Are you active? Are you sassy? Are you kind of corporate? Really understanding what your corporate vibe is and what is the value that you give beyond, you know, your benefits, your perks, whatever. Those are okay, but how do you engage people? How do you keep them feeling like, I belong here and I want to stay here? And there are so many things that can be done. And I think that people have gotten very creative while we've been remote working. Like the customers that we're working in, they're doing weekly challenges or daily challenges or reminders about wellness, like stay hydrated, or okay, everybody up your sock game and show us your crazy socks. I mean, maybe injecting a little bit of fun into what might have been very, very regimented might be an option, and recognizing that, you know, we're all human, and maybe we can turn this kind of, you know, grind into a really amazing experience.
So I'm going to pause you there, and just being conscious of the time as well.
Sure.
You just mentioned that it's important, or it could be important, to inject things like fun into an organizational culture. And I thought it was curious when you said corporate, you went corporate, you know. I want to remind you.
Hands like men, you know, like.
I make no comment on that. That's
fine. But that's the kind, like, I was thinking of.
Well, what I was thinking of is 20 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago, where you verbally agreed to record a sing-along, hashtag challenge accepted. What platform? When can we see it? When will it be done? Who will it involve? Is it a solo act? Is it a duet? Is it the whole team? Like, you just signed a verbal contract, and then after the fact talked about the importance of injecting fun. When are we going to see it?
So prove it, Anastasia. Yeah, it will happen. I have to get creative with this, because if I have to do it alone, and I'm trusting that my team will not let me down, but if I do have to do this alone, I will make it entertaining and fun, and I don't think I will ever live it down.
So when it is posted, and when we post this, and I'm really curious to see this video, because it crapped out halfway and we don't edit anything. What's the website people can go to A, learn more about Rhonda, B, learn more about joining the team, and C, when that video is ultimately posted and lives on your careers page or wherever? Yeah. Give us the beats. What's the www?
No, it's super simple. Rhonda.ai. So RHONDA.ai.
Fantastic. Are you comfortable with this conversation? Are you you're good with me just posting and not letting you vet it first? And
just do it. You know, I love our conversations, and they always go like this. Although I didn't get my mango lassi this time.
What was that? The mango what?
You brought me the mango lassi last time.
What did I brought you lemonade, didn't I?
It was kind of like a lassi lemonade. It was
I don't
like
know
it's
what a
kind of
lassie. What
yogurty.
is a lassie?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so when this thing blows over, I will take you for a lassi.
Can you tell me what a lassie is? Like, is this like a collie dog that tells people
No, it's a
to go
drink.
down a well?
It's a nice, refreshing Indian drink. You'll love it.
I was trying to make you laugh, and it just, you see, it was.
It fell flat.
I feel like explaining. I'm more of a volume than quality joke teller, um, and I find that explaining why bad jokes weren't funny ultimately gets laughs more so than the actual
That's
jokes.
so hilarious, John. Oh my God.
Okay,
No.
I will take the pity laughs. Always a pleasure. Stay safe, be well. Looking forward to this mango lassie down the road, and very much looking forward to your Help Me Rhonda rendition. And only go maybe 15 seconds because you don't want to have to pay for copyright stuff and whatever the SOCAN rules are. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't want to. Yeah, 15 seconds max.
Done. Right here. Bam. You be good.
No.
No.
Take care, John.